Good morning, Zimbabwe. This is Anesu Michael Maposa from Pamushana News. Today we're joined with Pastor Patrick Phillip Mugadza, the pastor of Remnant Church. Is a right human that should explain further. And he changed himself in First Street. He did 40 days of prayer with hashtag Mugabe must fall at Africa Unit Square. He also sent a petition to the Pope, and he was arrested for putting on the national flag. And he carried a yoke in town, and he also sent a petition to the USA President Donald Trump. Welcome to the show, Mr. Mugadza.
Thank you so much, Anesu.
Yes. Can you start briefly by telling us about yourself? Where were you born and stuff like that? More of your background.
Okay. I was born in Gutu in my mother's kitchen. That's what I always say, and I love that kitchen until about now. And from there, I then moved into Kariba. That's where I began my pastoring, ministry. And then, because of what is happening right now, me being an activist, I then had to move into Harare because of the court cases I have to be attending each and every time.
Okay. So which year were you born? When is your birthday?
Okay.
When?
I was born on the 1st of March 1968.
Okay.
But officially I am 70.
Okay.
Because I was disturbed by the war.
Okay.
I think you may also need to know that I was a war collaborator.
Okay.
So I know a bit of what used to happen back there.
All right.
So because we were delayed by the war.
Okay.
We were stopped by the war, and then when I wanted to go back to school, I was told that my years were above what they wanted.
Okay.
So I had to be reduced.
Okay.
So now on my documents, everything says 1970.
1970.
So that means I am 49 and not 47.
Okay. And can you tell us about your parents? Are they alive? Their names?
They are late.
Okay,
they're
both
late.
Okay.
Both late, yeah.
What was their names?
Oh, my mother's name was Esther.
Okay.
And my father was called Philip.
Philip.
I took from him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And about how many were you in your family?
We were five,
You were five.
but now we are four.
You were four. And
Yeah.
what number were you?
I was number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
Okay. And more about your primary education. So where did you go for primary? Which years? Which schools did you attend?
I went to my rural school called Makonde School.
Okay.
I think until about grade 4, 5, thereabout. Then went into Gweru because of the war. We had to move from home. Going into town was a bit safer.
Okay.
So I went into Gweru. There, I think I spent about a year without going to school because I couldn't get a place.
Okay.
That's when the issue of my years have to be changed.
Okay.
Actually came in. So I was in Gweru again. I think I did 1 year at a primary school in a school called Takunda.
Okay.
And then went back home for my grade 6 and grade 7.
Okay.
And then after that, for my secondary, I went back to Gweru again.
Okay.
Where I did my secondary education at a school called Mkoba Secondary School.
What year was that?
It's about 83 to 87.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. And what did you do after that? Did you go for professional training or?
Not really. After that, I went for temporal teaching.
Okay.
I was really trying. I tried my level best to actually have a course to do, especially teaching.
Okay.
I loved teaching so very, very much.
Okay.
So when I was a temporal teacher, I tried, but I just couldn't get a place. Even back then.
Which year was this, and which school did you do temporary teaching?
This was 93.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was in Kariba Rural.
Okay.
Which is called Nyami Nyami.
Nyami Nyami.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many years did you spend?
I was there for about 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 years there. Yes.
All right. And what did you do after that?
After that, then I believed that God was calling me for the full-time ministry.
Okay.
When I went to the full-time ministry, I then had to go and train as a pastor.
Okay.
I went to a place called Youth with a Mission
Okay.
in Bulawayo.
In Bulawayo.
It was 2004.
2004.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And
All right.
I was trained also as a missionary, and I had to leave the country. I went to Botswana.
Okay.
For a bit of a while.
Okay.
Then I said, God, because of what is going on in my country, the negative report which was actually taking place in Botswana, especially during the time of Murambachina,
Yes.
it wasn't so good. I said,
Okay.
God, I need to go back home, you know,
Okay.
that kind of a thing, and see if I can also be of help to my people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which year did you go into Botswana then?
That was 2005.
2005. Okay. Because Murambachina was sometime in September, was it?
Yes,
Okay.
thereabout.
All right. And what were you doing in Botswana?
In Botswana, I was actually pastoring.
You were pastoring.
Yes.
What church was it?
Oh yeah, I forgot the name of the church. No, yeah.
Yeah.
It was called Christ Citadel Church.
Christ Citadel Church.
Yeah, in a place called Bobonong.
Oh, Bobonong. Is
Yeah.
that where is that?
Yeah.
Is that in?
It's close to Selibe Pikwe.
Selibe Pikwe, so
Yeah,
it's close
yeah.
to the border.
To the side, yeah. It's from Francistown. Then you go into as you go into Gabs, then you turn left
Okay.
into Selibe Pikwe.
Okay.
From there again, you go down into Bobonong.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did you decide and when did you come back to Zimbabwe?
I came back, I think, early of 2006.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Then I went back to the same college which had trained me.
Okay.
I also started training others also.
Oh, you were a trainer.
I was
Okay.
teaching other students.
For how long?
I was there for about a year.
About a year.
Yeah, about a year.
Okay.
And then I felt this strong urge for me to be praying for the nation of Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then end of 2006, it was about November.
Okay.
I told God to say, you know what, you can call me for anything and I will be available.
Okay.
So I'm gonna show you to say that I can do anything.
Okay.
And I did a prayer walk
Okay.
from Bulawayo
All right.
all the way to Harare.
Okay. In November 2006.
And 6, yeah.
Okay.
And it took me 9 days.
Okay.
And I said, what's this 9? And God said to me, you know, I told you to say something's about to happen for Zimbabwe. Because Zimbabwe is like a pregnant woman. And she is in her 9th month.
Okay.
This is the reason why you're going to be walking 9 days.
All right.
So every day is for for a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So I did that, and then from there, things just changed.
Okay.
Because I started moving around the country, telling people, pray for the nation.
Did you get any media publicity on that walk from?
I was only told to say that I appeared on television.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I never got to really to be like interviewed.
Okay.
Yeah, but I remember I was actually received by some pastors,
Okay.
and also I think you may remember an elder called Pius Wakatama.
Yes.
Yeah, he
Yes.
came over in just after Norton.
Okay.
As I was getting into Harare, Snack Park area.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
yes.
where they actually received me. I think that's when they brought in a guy from ZBC.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
but he never spoke to me, so he just took a video, and I didn't think it was anything big. So, but at the end of the day, somebody told me, say, you know what, we saw you on television.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's the best of the publicity I got from that.
Okay. And so after that, what happened? Because I'm trying to chronicle your
Yeah.
journey from then to today.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after that, I continued. I mean, speaking to the whole nation. And also I went to, God spoke to me, say, God, to 4 countries.
Okay.
That's Tanzania,
Okay.
Mozambique,
Okay.
Zambia,
Okay.
and Botswana.
Okay.
Yeah, I speak the same word to say you should stand with us as a nation,
Yes.
pray with us.
Yes.
He said to me, the same anointing which is upon these 4 nations,
Yes.
okay, which was there back then when they were helping. In the Chimurenga,
Yes.
you know, the second Chimurenga, you know, we were getting people being trained in those 4 countries, especially here in Africa, and coming back to fight here. And God said to me, it's the same thing. When you go out there, these guys, these nations have got same anointing over Zimbabwe.
All right.
So when you go there and you speak to them to say, help us in prayer, they will kind of like armor you spiritually.
Okay.
As they pray for you.
That's fine. That's fine.
So that they will pray with you, right? When they pray with you, they give you spiritual armor, and when you come back, you'll be able to even to speak to many people, and just the way it was being done way back when they were actually fighting the second Chimrenga war.
Okay.
And then around about 2008, where there used to be there was this GNU talks, which are going on after those elections.
Yes.
One day I was in Harare.
Okay.
And it was on a Saturday, I remember so very well. The atmosphere wasn't so good. I just felt so angry with the situation in the nation. You know, where we have one day, you know, the inflation just goes up, you know, just because the people are kind of like agreeing in their talks. If they don't agree, you know, it's something else. They agree something else. So I said, God, the devil has pushed us so far, and this I will not take.
Okay.
So give me a place where I can go and pray.
Okay.
I will not come out.
Okay.
Until they agree.
Okay.
And I had two places I wanted to go.
Okay.
But he showed me to say I was supposed to go to Kariba.
Okay.
And the place and what I was going to be meeting on the way, I saw that in the dream.
Okay.
So I packed my bag and I went there. And I saw it exactly in the same way what I saw in the dream. And I did exactly what I did in the dream when I got there. And when I went into prayer, I think for about 4 or 5 days. And my prayer really was, God, for the sake of the orphans, for the sake of the widows, those who are suffering, please make these guys agree.
Okay.
Make them agree on what they're supposed to be agreeing, and make them disagree on what they're supposed to be disagreeing.
Yes.
But let them sign something.
All right.
And 5 days later, I was in a dream again.
Okay.
And God showed me signing presidential papers.
Okay.
Right. When I woke up, I said, okay, what's going on here? Then that morning, the next morning rather, I went to see a friend of mine. She's a lady.
Okay.
When I got to her place, she said, Philip, you can't believe this. I said, what? She said, they have signed. I said, signed what? I said, come and see. So we went into her home. It was where I was staying in the lodge. There was no television.
Okay.
But when I went to this wonderful lady's place, the name was Sue Vanikik.
Okay.
So I went to her place, and then she said, okay, come and see. And I watched and realized the guys were like signing the MOU.
Okay.
I said, oh my God, this is what I saw last night. You know, that kind of a thing. And then after that, God said to me, now be prepared to settle here in Kariba.
Okay.
And all of a sudden the pastor comes back to me and says, you know what, Philip, for a long time you've been coming and going, and we thought you were going to say you want to come back and work with us because I worked with them.
Okay.
Then they said to me, we want you to come back and work with us.
Okay.
I said, it's okay. God has spoken to me about it already. So I went back into Kariba.
Okay.
And I was tired. I told God, say, God, please give me some rest. I am tired. I've been moving everywhere. People used to like joke with me, say, the men of North fix the board because I didn't have a place. So I'll stay from one place to the other, that kind of a thing. And at the same time, I was just physically tired. So God said to me, it's all right. You can rest here. But he said to me, so are you quitting what I've asked you to be doing, what I've assigned you to be doing?
Yes.
I said, no, I'm not quitting, but I'm just a tired person.
Okay.
So I strongly believe that time, that's when I kind of like shelved my assignment for a bit of a while.
All right.
Right. Then years later, it came again.
So what were you doing in between? When did you start Remnant
I was
Church?
I was pastoring
which church?
A church called Kariba Christian Community Church.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was from 2008 end of it
Okay.
to 2012.
Okay.
Then thereafter, I started the Remnant Church.
Okay.
Then Kariba again.
Okay.
And then I think in 2015, the burden for praying for the nation started again.
Okay.
In a very, very big way. And I realized that same thing is coming back again. And I wanted to just go and pray seriously. Speak to people Let's pray for the nation of Zimbabwe, that kind of a thing. But it just didn't work. And God showed to me. He showed to me where I was seated with a friend of mine. I was in South Africa because I wanted to go and establish a prayer ministry, which is going to be on television.
Okay.
Because I was saying to myself, I can't be walking the way I used to. I was a bit young back then, but now with age, I can't be doing the same thing. So rather be like sending it out there on television. It would be easier, right? But when I got there, I tried to make it happen.
Which year was this?
That was 2015.
Okay.
October, November.
Okay. Where in South Africa, Johannesburg?
I was in Johannesburg. Yes, I was in Johannesburg. So I tried it. It just couldn't work out. And then after that, I had to come back. The day before I actually left.
Okay.
That night of it, I had a dream where a quail came to me, and I was sitting with my friend. The one who was hosting me in South Africa. Okay. So I took my gun and then tried to shoot it. Missed it. My friend said, "Okay, give it to me. Give me the gun." Tried the same thing. He couldn't. And then I said, "Okay, give it to me." Back. So I tried to shoot. No bullets. Okay. So, and I woke up. And I was so devastated because I knew I had missed something. Okay. I even told my friend. He said, "No, this is not a very good dream." Okay. I came back to Kariba, and then only 2 days when I was back, the same dream came again. All right. But this time I'm by myself. The same quail came, took my gun again. When I aimed, I knew with everything inside of me to say that I got it. Okay. And I shot it on the neck. The neck snapped. And I woke up. And I knew this time I got it. But I was saying, what is that which I got? I just couldn't tell. Right? And then it took something like, I think, a week or so. A friend of mine came from Bulawayo, from Masungo, sorry. So he was a pastor. And then we were always talking about the nation when he came over. The 2 days I was with him, it was all about Zimbabwe, how things are not working so well. Okay. Then eventually I said to him, you know what? Let's go to Vic Falls because these guys in Vic Falls, they're having their the ZANU-PF guys, they're having their conference. Yes. Let's go there and tell them that you are ruining the nation. Said, what? These guys will kill you. Said, no, let's just go for it.
Which friend of this?
A friend of mine who is in Masungo. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. His name is Clement Zenda.
Okay. Is he a pastor as well?
He's a pastor, yes.
Okay. Which church?
He's now with a church called Alliance.
Alliance.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
So when we did, then he said to me, okay, let me sleep over it. Yeah, I just can't make a hasty decision because I know these guys. I said, it's all right. So the next day when we woke up, he said to me, let's go for it. Yeah, and then started making plans. Okay. So it passed through Masingo and to tell his wife that's what we're going to be doing. Then we went into Victoria Falls. Okay. And then we did our stuff. We wrote a placard written, "Mr. President, people are suffering." I moved around the streets of Vic Falls, and then I was arrested by some CIO operative, and that CIO guy, I knew him way back in Kariba. Okay. So he took me, and then he just placed me in the hands of the police.
What did they charge you with?
Criminal nonsense.
Criminal nuisance.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Before we get carried away, you said something very interesting at the start of the interview. You said you were once a war collaborator. Can you give us more information on that? Which areas you were, what you did, and
I was just within my area, back home in Mamakonde, Gutu. Okay. And being a very young person, I was about 12 at that time. So being a young person, I would be trusted a lot, like to say, no, this is just a young boy, he cannot do anything to us. So I will be sent by the older ones, older collaborators, to go and spy on what they used to call the enemy. I actually remember a specific one when I was asked to go and spy of the soldiers of Reverend Muzorewa. Okay. Yeah, those who put on brown stuff, Zakzaku. Exactly. Yes. So I went there at a very good position and started counting them. Okay. You know, that kind of thing. That's the information they wanted. You know, how many there were, what kind of guns were actually there. Okay. So then I went home and the guy was waiting for me. I gave him the information.
Okay.
And and even before then, we would go to the Pungwes and all that. You maybe be made to be on a higher place. We're going to be searching around, looking around, to say what's going on around. So that's what you used to do. And we being told Zimbabwe is the land of milk and honey, things are gonna be all right for every one of us, the kind of a thing. We are trying to, not we're trying, but we are removing the oppressive system, the colonial system, and it shall be well for us. And it's now a shock because what we were being told is not what is on the ground.
Okay, so did that have a bearing on your current activism then? That experience of being a war collaborator?
Later on.
Okay.
Later on, then I began to reflect to say, but for sure, this is not what we are being told. Mm-hmm. It's a different thing altogether. So these guys, they didn't do a good thing, one or the other. They deceived us, mm-hmm. and they've let down the cause of the fighting of the war. Mm-hmm. Why did we really have to fight? At one point, I actually said that I think. If Smith was still around now, he would say, guys, is this the reason why you were fighting? Right? If that was the case, you should have told us to say, we only want the name called Zimbabwe, and that's it. Mm-hmm. We're going to give it to you, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. Because the way things are, it's so terrible, mm-hmm. because they've destroyed just but everything which has been there, sort of starting from somewhere, mm-hmm. They were given a very good foundation. Mm-hmm. I know, yes, all these ideas can be contestable because people see things from different angles. Mm-hmm. Somebody said to me that, yes, we had a cake, 1980. Mm-hmm. Okay, but it had lots of people, mm-hmm. or maybe of things which are supposed to be involved in the whole thing, that kind of a thing. So what has happened is that it wasn't done properly, and then at the end of the day, that whole cake got depleted. Mm-hmm. Right, mm-hmm. But there was nobody who really were to say, you know what, you guys, this whole thing will be finished. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we need to be replenishing. Yeah. Right. So there was no replenishing anyway. There was only a mentality of taking. Which is, I believe, what has actually left us where we are right now, because we have never increased or improved on anything much, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. I think if there is any development offer on, is most likely only 20%. Okay. What has been there has been 80%. Okay. Yeah, and we are busy bringing everything down.
Okay. So fast forward back to 2008 at the Congress in Victoria Falls. Yeah. What then happened after you were arrested? You were charged. How many days were you arrested for?
Yes, I was charged, and then I was then given bail, mm-hmm. bail for $500. Okay, which was so hefty. Mm-hmm. I could manage to actually pull it out. Mm-hmm. So I was there for 17 days. Now in jail, because the moment you don't pay bail, mm-hmm. they put you in jail. Yes. So I was in a small jail in Victoria Falls. Okay. And then my lawyer had then to go and actually put an application for the reduction of the bail.
Who was representing you then?
I've forgotten his name. There's been a while now.
All right.
Yeah. So when he went to actually apply for that, it was granted, and it was reduced from 500 to 50. Okay. And then the information I gathered after that was to say that they wanted to check to say who was going to be, or was I going to quickly have the money paid. Okay, if it was going to be that fast, so that meant to say that I wasn't alone. Okay, right? Because these people think to say that once you say something which is wrong, it's not you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Third party. Somebody saying that. Okay. They think we're so dumb. Okay. What they've done to us, they've done to us to such that they're so much confident to say that we don't think. Okay. Somebody has to think for us.
Okay. Puppet masters.
Yeah. Somebody has to tell us, say, you know what, your children are not going to school. Can't you see that? They said, for sure, I didn't know my children are not going to see. I mean, this is bad. Yeah. This is the extent to which they think we are so dumb that we do not know that we are suffering. The moment they say we are suffering, they say, no, somebody told him. Okay. So that's what they were thinking. So when they realized that I was in there for 17 days, I said, no, this guy is just saying out his mind. He's just by himself. So reduces what? Reduces bail. And it was reduced, and then I managed to pay that.
Okay. So what are some of the, if you can just say briefly, some of the cornerstone activism programs you've embarked on, apart from fast forwarding from going on forward from
Vic Falls.
From Vic Falls, yes.
Okay. After Vic Falls, I then came over. I did my first press conference on the 6th of January, which was just something else because the headline shook me.
Was that in Harare or
here?
Okay.
Yeah, I came over here.
Okay.
Because the guys called me over. So the next headline was saying Mugabe must go.
Okay.
I said, what? I never said this. When I was buying the paper, I even told the newspaper guy. It was Newsday.
Okay.
The newspaper guy. I said to him, this is me. You know what? But I never said this.
Yes.
It shook me, and I was like, what's going on here? You know, that kind of a thing. But later on, I calmed myself down, and you know, when you're just studying activism and that kind of a thing, an element of fear to some extent, but not much of it.
Yes.
It really gripped me, but eventually I just calmed myself down, said, hey, you know, let it roll, you know, that kind of a thing. And then after that, around April, yes, I went into First Street, and I changed myself there, and started speaking of the ills which are going on in the nation, the misgovernance, the corruption, and everything else. And I went to Masvingo also, I think 2 days later. I changed myself again, and Masvingo, I did exactly the same thing, speaking of what is going on in the nation. Then I came back to Harare. I then helped other people like OAUS when they were doing their activism, sleeping in the Africa Unit Square.
Yes.
I was with them for I think for about 2 days. And then
were you just there in solidarity, or you were part of them?
Yeah, it was more of being part of them. But also in solidarity with what they were doing, because I wanted to show, to say we are together. It's not a one man thing. We come together, we make things happen. So that's why I was with them. And then last year again, around about November.
So yes, was that the times of Itai Zamar?
No. It was way after.
It was his younger brother.
Yes.
Patson Zamar.
Patson, exactly. And people like Dak. And others. And then after that, I did. I wrote a petition to the Pope.
Yes.
Which was saying that he needs to excommunicate the president.
Because he's a Catholic.
Yeah, since he's Catholic. And I was saying, with what he's doing in the nation of Zimbabwe, I don't think he qualifies to continue being somebody who still goes to their church. They have got to look into it and discipline him. You know, the excommunication. It's not like send him out of the church and we don't want to see him. No, but they have to be like saying to him, no, we are disciplining you for what you are doing. So we are excommunicating you because we hate you, but we love you and we want you not to do what you're doing.
Did you get a response on that?
No, I did not. I could see it.
Okay. How did you deliver it? Did you send it by post?
No, I went straight there. I went there. In Mount Pleasant.
Oh, you went to Mount Pleasant.
They've got an embassy for Vatican.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where I went.
All right.
Yeah, and the priest who got me there, he thought I was actually a fellow priest.
Okay.
From Roman Catholic.
Roman Catholic.
Yeah. Yes. So he was saying to me, when I told him, no, I'm not a Roman Catholic priest. He said to me, you know what? We don't usually have requests coming from outside the church. You know, of us excommunicating a believer. In our church. But anyway, we'll do the best we can to send it out. I don't think they did because you could tell, facially that the guy was like hesitant. The priest was in trouble. Yeah. But what I liked about the whole thing was to say that I think a week or 2 weeks later, somebody sent me a video to say that there was a lady in the Vatican City who had to wake up early in the morning. To find a good spot so that you could actually speak to the Pope.
Okay.
And say to him, please help Zimbabwe because of what is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe because of what President Mugabe.
Okay.
Right? And when she was interviewed to say, why are you doing this? What happened? Says, I was inspired by what Pastor Mugadza did back home.
Also,
So-
she would pray in the morning.
No. She had to go and speak to the Pope.
Oh, she called him.
Yeah, no, not calling him. He was passing.
Okay.
He was passing, and she found a spot early in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, before he passed.
Okay.
To send a message.
Okay.
Yeah, to say, please look into the Zimbabwean situation.
Okay.
So I'm saying when she was now being asked, she said, "Oh, you know, I was inspired by what Pastor Mugadza did back home."
Okay.
So even if it was not sent, but the message,
got there.
some sent the message.
All
So I
right.
liked the whole thing.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
And I think after that you went into that prayer at Africa Unit Square, hashtag Mugabe must fall.
Yes.
How what motivated that, and what were the results on it?
Okay, it was on the 1st of July.
1st of July.
Yeah, that's when it started.
2016.
2016, it also started.
Okay. After Occupy Africa Unit.
Yes,
Square.
exactly.
Okay. All right.
So we strongly believe, we say that everything starts in the spiritual. Okay, so his falling can only manifest physically after a spiritual input.
Okay.
So that's we had to do that, to say, okay, let's pray that he falls, and it is possible. People were like saying to me, hey, you know, you don't pray for somebody to die. I said, no, I didn't say he should die. You know, President Robert Mugabe has fallen several times and he has never died. So what makes you think to say that when I say he should fall, I mean he's supposed to be dying? No. You just step down and stop then amicably, you know, that kind of a thing, so that as a nation we can move on. And it wasn't a very good an easy time.
Okay.
It was very tough because these guys are spiritually connected. They do a lot of rituals.
Okay.
And so
Which
we were
guys?
fighting the president himself
Okay.
and his people. There's regime.
Okay.
You know, there's so much involved in occultism.
Okay.
So it was a big fight.
But do you have proof of it, or how do you?
No, spiritually.
Spiritually.
Yeah, we
Okay.
got sick. All of us,
Oh,
we
you
got
got
sick.
sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got sick, all
Wasn't
of
it
us.
the cold? It was winter time.
No, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Actually,
Okay.
spoke to the other guy who I was with. He said to me, "I've never been this sick.
Okay.
It's my first time."
All right.
Right. For me, I really had to do the best I can for
Okay.
me to stay afloat.
Okay.
Because it was a very tough time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did God say to you after the prayer? What did He say after that?
Well, I didn't really get anything from God around that time. It was only later on, maybe some like a week, 2 weeks later. I was in a dream and I saw a very steep mountain.
Okay.
Yeah, but there was a road there,
Okay.
and at the base of it there were some cars, but women were driving the cars.
Okay.
And as they were trying to go up, it was so steep such that it was difficult for them. They were like meandering, you know, for them to get to the top.
Okay.
And I started like following also, you know, going up. And then in front of me, there happened to be a horse-drawn cart,
Okay.
like those old ones,
Okay.
right? It was going also the same direction, going up. And then all of a sudden, the horses started galloping.
Okay.
It's like saying, how can they gallop? This place is so steep. But I realized when I got there, it was like now kind of like flat,
Okay.
right? And I saw a man who was there. That man was putting on a hat. It was a white man. He was putting on a hat. And that hat was like having like an American flag
Okay.
there. He started to say to me, you know what? We are the same. We are together. You know, we should move on. We should move on together. You know, it was as if, I don't know if they were coming to rescue us or what was going on, but I began to realize, say that yes, it has not been a very easy journey. Okay, which took I think a bigger toll on women. You know, and you know, whenever you have a crisis, women are actually hit so hard. So I think that was the depiction from the women trying to drive and negotiate and all the kind of a thing. And so that I just believe to say that it's gonna be well.
Okay.
It's gonna be well.
All right. And when you got arrested wearing the national flag, What was going on there? What was going on?
It was on the 18th of November.
Okay.
And I think
2016.
2016, yeah.
Okay.
There was a call for a national, I think, like stay away,
Okay.
which is a flop.
Uh-huh.
But me, I just went
Oh,
there.
they shut down.
They shut down, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So me, I went there. So when I went there, I then was putting on my flag
Okay.
and my hat, which was written "Enough is enough," and my cross,
Okay.
and they nabbed me
Okay.
for that. I was just by myself.
You didn't say anything. you
Nothing.
didn't-
I was just standing.
Okay.
I was just standing, and they came and took me up.
Okay.
That kind of a thing.
Because you are abusing the national flag.
That's what they say. You know, but anyway, about a month and a half back, I was acquitted of that.
Okay.
They said no, I didn't do any wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And recently you've been on social media, on Facebook particularly, carrying a yoke.
Yeah.
And that's very interesting. What's the
Okay.
symbolism? What is the idea behind it? What's the big idea?
Okay. The yoke, as you may remember, if you may know, to say that it's used to be put on animals, so they'll be able to pull anything. Maybe it could be a cart, it could be a plow. So they brought together with the yoke. So a yoke symbolizes a burden. All right. So I was saying that as a nation we are under a burden. Okay, the regime has put a yoke on our necks. The yoke of what? The burden of corruption, the burden of violence, the burden of misgovernance, right? The burden of the first family. The first family themselves, they are a burden to us because they're creating a dynasty.
Okay.
Last year, it was Chikore getting a job to be a CEO for Zimbabwe. All right, and then recently again, we're being told his wife appointed to a board,
Censorship board.
censorship board, that kind of a thing. And after that again, she may be getting a post with a bank.
Okay.
So everything is like now circulating around them. It's now about them, and you never know what could be on the cards for Mai and the two boys, right? Maybe they are actually looking at what they can do, to create some space for these two boys. So if we let this kind of a thing continue like that, it's still going to be taking a toll on us, right? Because what they're doing is a way of getting more from the poor, more from the nation which is already on the knees. It's like milking a cow which is bleeding. That's what is happening right now. So that's what I'm saying, that when I was putting on that yoke, I was speaking of all the burden, the problems which the nation is reeling under right now. That's why I was having that yoke. It can be anything on that. You can put anything. Any problem is a yoke, is a burden on the nation of Zimbabwe.
Okay. And going back to Remnant Church, how are you balancing the two between Remnant Church and your activism work, and how are your followers taking it?
Okay. All right. What I did when I did all this thing, I knew that the junta was not going to take it lightly, because I had meetings with them even in Kariba. Okay. Yeah, when they called me to say, we heard you have got an issue with the president because you went to Victoria Falls. Okay. What are your concerns? So I sat down with them. And I told them to say that...
Was that the police? The army?
No, the CIOs.
The CIOs called you?
The CIOs, yeah.
Okay.
They called me, and we met at a neutral venue.
Okay.
Yeah, and I told them to say that I strongly believe the right thing for the president to do is to step down. Because things are not well. If he really wants to save this nation, that's the best thing he should do to really step down. And they started asking me all these things like, where do you meet? What time do you meet? How many people are there? And to me, it's like to say, it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Okay, why would you want to know? Okay, how many people are there? What time do we meet? Where do we meet? That kind of a thing. Obviously, they wanted to kind of like come in, right, and infiltrate
Okay.
Right? At the end of the day, they're going to cause what? Division.
Okay.
I have to say, oh, you know what? Your pastor is doing this. Do you think it's a good thing for the pastor to be what? To be doing that? You know, kind of a thing, and end up splitting the what? The church.
The church, yes.
Yeah. And for me, I didn't want this church to split in my hands.
Okay.
All right. So I had to sit down in the church. I said, guys, for Kariba, that's what I'm gonna be doing. We're going to be stopping the services for now.
Okay. When was this? Which year was this?
That was last year. That was last year.
Last year, which month?
That was around March.
March, before you started getting arrested.
Yeah, exactly. Because I knew all these things were coming up,
Yes, yes,
kind of a
yes,
thing,
yes.
which were also going to be disturbing.
Yes.
And the flow of the ministry and all that. So I also didn't want even like to leave somebody there with the church, because I knew they would start comparing, you know, apostles like this and all that, and you are doing that, the kind of way. I didn't want that. And I wanted also them to understand, to know, you know what, Remnant is not the only church. Secondly, I'm not the only pastor. Okay, the other pastors within the Kariba community, and also the other churches. So I told them to say that as individuals, please go and look for a church where you can go and and fellowship. When I come back, right, and when I'm starting over again, if you want to come, you come.
Okay.
But if you're okay with where you are, it's all right.
All right.
Because I also wanted to bring this picture to say, you know what, people talk so much about denominations, about the churches. It's not about that. It's about God. All right. It's about the Church of Christ Himself. All right, universally. No, not about the name of this and name of that, that kind of a thing. There's no super pastor, there's no super church, that kind of a thing. People have got to understand that, they've got to know that are so clear. It's about the word of God. So that's what I actually had to do.
Okay.
So I don't have that burden now.
Okay.
Right, but I'm actually planning now to launch here in what?
Okay.
Here in Harare.
Same church.
Same churches.
How many followers did you have in Kariba?
I had plus or minus 50.
Plus or minus 50.
Yeah.
Okay. And since you started activism, around about the same time it started Remnant Church, how did your community take it where you were staying?
It wasn't very easy. It was also one of the reasons why I had to leave Kariba, because it was kind of like new. You know, people even say to me, "This guy is gonna die. They're gonna kill him." And I've confronted some of the guys. I said, "I'm alive. Yeah, I am. You know, that kind of a thing. I'm not gonna be killed. You know, the kind of a thing. I can only die when God says it's my time to what? It's my time to go."
Okay.
Nobody takes me. I always say that I cannot go to heaven a minute early.
Okay.
It's not possible.
Okay.
I'll go at the right time.
And taking that into perspective, you said that God will, when it's about time for you to kick the bucket, you kick the bucket.
Definitely.
And if my mama tells me, well, there was a prophecy you did about the president that he was going to pass on some time. And you got arrested for it.
Yes.
You were denied bail because they said you have not fixed the board.
Yeah.
And you spent how many days in prison? Was it 55 days in Kurubi?
Yes.
Maximum prison.
No, it was a remand.
Oh, remand. Okay. How did that affect you? Did that get to you? Did that make you stronger? Did that whole experience there? How did that affect your faith?
Okay.
Did that affect your relationship with God? Or can you please tell us more on that whole audio?
Okay, yes, there was a big effect, and but the impact was very positive rather than negative.
Okay.
Yeah, I said at one point that these guys did the right thing.
They did the right thing.
Yeah, to put me in there. They did the right thing.
All right.
Yeah, because had they not done that, things I got from thee, just learning, just seeing, just experiencing.
Yes.
I wasn't going to. Right? Now I can speak with understanding. I can speak with more knowledge, with more experience, because I was there.
In the gallows.
Yes, I was there. I had to go through the pain with everyone else. The lies. I didn't know there was a disease which comes from lies.
Okay.
Right? But when I was there, I got it. It's feverish. Just like as if it's like we are bitten with mosquito, the kind of a thing, and have malaria. You get this fever, the kind of a thing.
Yes.
I had that fever, and I had to pray seriously.
You say it comes from lice?
Yeah.
Or lice? Okay.
Yes, lice. Yeah, exactly. When they bite you, really big time. Yeah, you get that, and you also get small wounds around your body. From that. So I went through all that. People being beaten in prison. I went through that. I was beaten also, right? And
what were you beaten for?
Because I asked somebody to bring down my blankets.
Okay.
Yeah. So say from my cell, my usual cell.
Okay.
But because I was coming from the courts.
Okay.
In the evening.
Okay.
So when you come back, you don't get into your usual cell.
Okay.
You are taken into what they call a holding cell.
Okay.
Right. There are some blankets which are there. Right. But I developed a problem. I had some pain on my hips. I'm not big, right? As a result, when I sleep on a hard surface, right? I realized that the pain was just but too much. It wasn't a normal pain, right? I think it went on to trigger something which was there already.
Okay.
Right, because it's not only on the hip areas when I have this where I have this pain. It was like throughout the whole leg, even right down to my feet. The kind of a thing. So I began to realize, that I need then to have a better breast, right? So I need to take some more blankets, which I can put down there. So I went to take that. And I was beaten for that. Say no, you shouldn't take that. That kind of a thing. I didn't see any point for me to be beaten for that kind of a thing.
So have you recovered from the pains after?
No. It's still like continually like that.
Intermittent.
If I really sleep on a hard surface, it really comes up. But it was from there initially.
Okay.
And I never used to actually have the kind of a thing.
Okay.
And even the food part of it was terrible. It was really bad for 53, 52 rather days. It was sadza and cabbage.
Okay.
Right. And then also for 3 days, just 2 for beans. And then the other one was for spinach.
Okay.
Right. So the diet is just a bit terrible. It's horrible. It's so bad. The kind of a thing. And the sleeping arrangements again, it's so congested. Yeah. I'm told it is meant. There are 2 establishments for classes D and classes C. There should be about all in all 400.
Okay.
Number 200.
200.
Yeah. But the time when I was there, it was about 800 people in there. So the facilities cannot really hold. The pollution blocks, they don't flush. It's so bad, and it's very close to the kitchen. Very close to the kitchen. It's a very pathetic situation. Very pathetic, and everything is like being run down. There's no maintenance of anything. It really just shows to say that things are so bad.
And when you released, you said something that was very interesting. You said you were calling for conjugal visits when someone is incarcerated or Remnant. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Okay, I think the call resulted from an observation. When I was there, I saw a man. He was having some condoms.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is only a men-only facility. And I'm saying, what for? So I began to realize, that as we are being told that there's been some reports of gay activism activities taking place, I began to realize to say that there is a need then for the married people, right? To have their wives coming in, and then there's a creation of conjugal cottages there, because we are saying as a nation we are against homosexualism, right? So we should be seen to be doing something about that, to correct that. The president is one person who is so much on record for even saying that these are they're less than pigs and dogs.
Pigs and dogs, yes.
Right. But he knows so very well to say that some of these things, they're emanating from what? From the experience of what? Of the prisons. But he's not doing anything about that, right? It shows to me to say that this is only what is called mob psychology.
Okay.
Right. This whole thing was more political than moral. It has nothing to do with values. To the president, it has nothing to do with the values. He was not talking about values there. He knew that the people of Zimbabwe will be so gullible. If he tells them to say that, we are against gays and lesbians, people say, yeah, that's the president we want. He's a good man. And he got the support of the church. Right?
Okay.
And the church missed the point. To say, no, this guy is doing it for political reasons. Right? And I always say that the President Robert Mugabe, will never do anything good for no reason.
Okay.
Every good thing he does is for a wrong reason. Okay. So don't clap your hands when you say, he did something good. Don't clap your hands there. Because 2 days down the line, you're going to say, oh my God, what is this? Because you'll be knowing where you'll be going. So don't be quick to comment. Even if he does something good, just be quiet about it.
Okay.
Yeah, be quiet about it. Otherwise, you'll be made to swallow your words.
Okay.
Later on.
Okay. And how has been this whole activism, getting arrested, being incarcerated? Has that had a toll on your relationship with your wife?
Definitely. We have, and I have every reason to blame the junta and the regime just but for everything happening around, even from marriages. Marriages are actually breaking down as a result of the way this regime is running this nation. People say, no, do you think the party or the regime is responsible for your understanding or maybe for your relationship? Yes, it is. Because what has happened right now is that we are unable to send our children to school. Right? I've got a boy who is 21.
How many kids do you have in total?
I have two.
Two?
Right.
Okay, how old are they? 21 and?
One is 21, the other one is 2.5.
2.5, okay.
Yeah. The one who is 21, 22 and 22, he finished 3 years ago.
Okay.
He's A levels.
Okay.
I can send him to the college.
Did he pass?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just waiting to go to college if he gets the money.
Okay.
Right? But not the money. So he's what? He's staying at home.
Okay.
Right?
He's
so
in
what
Kariba?
No, he's in Mutare.
Mutare. Okay.
Yeah, he's in Mutare with some relatives there.
Okay.
So I cannot even it's difficult even to feed my family.
Okay.
Right? So when it boils down to that, me being unable to feed my family, it strains the relationship. See what I'm saying? Because you'll be like saying to me, you know what, better you quit what you're doing, right? And
maybe go back to teaching.
Yeah, maybe to another job.
Do you ever consider it? Do you ever consider it?
No. For me, I mean, standing for the nation of Zimbabwe, right human activism, which I've said, which is what I do.
Yeah.
Right human activism is what God has assigned me to be doing. Maybe people are saying, what is right human? Are you not confusing the same thing with
human rights?
The human rights?
Yes.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay, they work hand in hand. But as a spiritual person, or maybe as a pastor, okay, whatever I do, when I speak using the word of God. Okay. That's why it has to be now saying right. Because right will then move into righteousness.
Yes.
So when I speak the word of God, I speak so that people can be right with God, and eventually they will be righteous. That's why I'm calling what right human. I'm saying, let's build a person who is right, who is standing right, so that by the end of the day, they know what to do and they know what not to do. They won't be corrupt.
If I can hold you on to that, I remember very well you were saying that you went into prayer during 2008, during the period of government national unity, during the talks.
Yeah.
And you had the prayer hashtag Mugabe must fall, and then you had the prophecy. Was it a dream? When you said that the president was going to pass on.
Yeah.
doing right, doing right, praying for the right things, why didn't you pray for good fortunes on such things, on the president dying, on the deteriorating situation, on why did you have a prayer like Mugabe must fall? Why didn't you have Mugabe must get things right?
Okay, that I could not do.
Why?
Okay, because I've been doing it.
Well, you've been doing it.
Yes.
Okay.
I couldn't do that at that time because I've been doing it for a very long time.
Okay.
If you had asked me to say that, are you going to be in activism, going out there and doing what you are doing right now, 2 years ago, I was going to tell you, hell no, I won't do that.
Okay.
It's not biblical.
Okay.
I pray for my president. I pray for my leadership.
Okay.
And that kind of a thing.
Yes.
And because that's what I was doing for years.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
But the time came when an understanding came to me to say, okay, fine, how do you pray for the president? President Robert Mugabe, how do you pray for him? Do you pray for more life? He is 93 years old, for crying out loud. He's already old.
But in the Bible, people used to live around about 600 years.
That's in the Bible.
Yes.
That's in the
That's
Bible.
biblical.
But now he can't even walk. Okay.
Yeah.
So we still want to say, give him more life, right?
Yeah.
While he's stumbling,
Okay,
that kind of
thing.
thing.
So he walks better.
He works
How about
better
that? Yeah.
for what? So that he can cause people to actually even be more violent. Okay, and then by the end of the day, for them to be stealing money from people. All right, is that what we want? Because he mentioned to say last year on his birthday that we lost $15 billion instead of 13 of getting $15 billion. We only got $2 billion. That means we lost $13 billion. Our eyes, our ears, and let us down. And recently, I was told, I think he said, this man, somebody he buried at Hiroseka, said he was our eyes, he was our ears. You know what he was doing? He was burying evidence. Because the same eyes and the ears he told us to say that they've let us down, he's burying that.
Okay.
So now when we say, where's our $15 billion? He will tell us, say, no, go to Hiroseka. I told you. This man is what? This man was our ears, and this man was what? Our eyes.
Okay.
So we've buried everything. These are the men who took the money, one or the other.
Okay.
That kind of a thing.
Okay.
So praying for him to continue leading us. That means we're going to be losing more money.
Okay.
There's going to be more incompetence, more suffering of the people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The best thing I can pray for the president is to say, please take this man off.
Okay.
I'm not saying kill him. Just make him step down.
Okay.
Right? Okay. And let others who are competent continue. He has failed. He's a failure as a president.
Okay, and I think Zimbabwe is a democracy governed by the constitution.
Yeah.
And next year we're having our 2018 general elections.
Yeah.
What are you doing as a right human, as an activist, as a pastor? What are you doing? What plans do you have so that we can go through the democratic process, do it the right way, and decide for your own future? What are you doing as a person?
Hey, what I think is right. I know I'm gonna be different with a number of people, but I know also that some people who really will be on my side. 2018 election, to me, should come in as like a plan B.
Okay.
Yeah. Not plan A.
All right.
Yeah. Why? We have been having elections since 1980. Okay. And I strongly believe, from what I heard, okay, I had to say that even the 1980 election, it was rigged.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
What did you hear?
I heard it was rigged. I mean,
from the 1980 elections.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was rigged. It was supposed to be in Como. Actually taking over.
Okay.
But they realized, I think this man is better than Como, because Como was focusing more on the land being given back to the blacks. So I think they had to strike a deal.
Okay.
With Mugabe. We said no, it's all right. Let's go ahead. 10 years, we won't talk about land. Okay. And if you follow the whole thing, he's not the one who gave people land. Right? People force themselves from so whatever. They force themselves to say, hey, you know what? Enough is enough. We want our land back. That kind of a thing. It wasn't his brainchild. Now they're only saying, we gave you land. People went out there and they grabbed the land, and they had to come in and begin to make it as if it was them. I was even told at one point, he told his leaders to say, guys, we cannot let the people get the farms. If it happens like that, we will go hungry. I'm told he said that. He said, okay, fine, let them go for now. We go through an election, we win, we'll chase them out, right? But it was so overwhelming such that he could not reverse that. It was so much irreversible the day after. So coming back to my point to say that
election is a plan B.
It's plan B for me, all right? We have been having election after election, okay? And one election which everybody knows that most likely the opposition won 2008, okay? When they won, these guys went mum for, was it 3 weeks or so? Didn't say anything about the results. First time in history. Okay, because remember that time, they were so quiet before the elections. Nobody was beaten. It was a non-violent election, beautifully done. Okay, because they did not think they were going to lose. When they realized that they lost, okay, what they do? Started cooking the figures. Okay, they cooked the figures, and then they said, okay, fine, rerun. Right. But what they were like saying was that we're not going, okay, we're going to be here. They imposed themselves back, and the president even said on recent record where he said that when we lost Stangirai with about 73%, this is not from very far, it is on record that he said what he said it. So if he admitted to having lost, but he's still the president, what's the guarantee that things will change in 2018? That you will say, no, I lost and I'm stepping down. There is no guarantee. What they did way back, they can still do the same thing again in 2018. So how can we really, with everything we have, put all the confidence and hope in 2018 election? It doesn't make sense. Something's just but wrong with Zimbabwe. Something's so wrong with Zimbabwe. I think there's a problem with opposition and people who are like trying to maintain relevance in politics. Okay. So they keep on giving you a hope. All right. So you can still have them around, that kind of a thing. They want to continue being around. So they have to say something, the kind of a thing. But with me, it is a plan B. Okay. Right. Plan A is now when we have to be serious about to say Mugabe must go. Okay. As simple as that. Okay. Right? It has happened in many places, many countries, and because there is nowhere, there is no history, okay, of a dictator, right, just going away because of what? Of an election. He told us. He said, the country will not go with a pen because it came with a what? It came with a gun. With a gun, yes. It won't go with a pen. That's what we say. So in other words, he's saying that I will not go by a vote. President Robert Mugabe has used an election, or he used elections, right, as a way of staying in power. Okay. That's why he has been so consistent and very religious with what? With holding of what? Of elections. Because it will bring in a force of democracy. When behind it, it's not democracy. He's using that. Then he does what? He then manipulates the whole electoral system, that kind of a thing, because he's got the powers, he has got everything at his disposal. So it's good for him to be calling for an election, because he knows he can manipulate the whole system. And we cannot sit and say, let's have hope in that again, when we know. I mean, we are so how can I put it? We quickly forget. I strongly believe we quickly forget. So anyone who thinks that 2018 may bring a change in the sense of us kicking out ZANU-PF because of an election, they should wake up. I think they're kind of like in some dreamland of some sort. Fine, I will not completely take it off. It may happen. That's why I said it then will be like plan B. Okay, but plan A is to seriously begin to say Mugabe must go. But not even 2018.
But then how would you implement that? How would you implement that?
The Constitution says that the president may step down by different means. Okay? And in chapter 59, it tells us to say that it gives us the right to demonstrate, to petition. Yeah, so we can go in the streets and tell him seriously, say, we are sick and tired of you, right? You are too old to rule us. And there's a lot of incompetence which is so clear. Everybody can see it. The kind of a thing, something you have to be like scratching around, to find it. It's there, it's so clear. The kind of a thing. So we were not he's creating a dynasty. And I've said that if he wanted to be a king, he should have told us in 1980.
Okay.
Yeah, to say, and we were going to look to say, okay, fine. Do you have a kingly blood in you, right? If he wasn't having it, then we're going to kick him out from there, right? But he, through them so-called democracy, he came in, but he's making himself a king. And we're saying, no, it's not like that. We are not a kingdom. We are not a monarchy. We do not want any aspect of dynasty here in the nation. It's a bad precedence. If this man dies in power, it's a terrible precedence. Because everyone who comes in there, they'll say, you let this guy even die in power. Okay. So how can you remove me? So we have a big time problem. We have to deal with these men so as to set an example for others who are coming. To say, well, the way we dealt with the old men is the same way we're going to deal with you. Okay. This and that, we were not going to let in this nation. You are destroying our nation. The nation has been destroyed. And we do want that kind of a thing. What will our children say to us? We can't.
But do you think, as you rightly said, as I asked you earlier on in the interview, that if you got any responses from the petitions, and also the demonstrations seem not to be working nowadays, is that really feasible, having petitions, keep on petitioning people and having demonstrations? Do you think that will work? Don't you think that people are fed up with demonstrations?
It's so unfortunate to say that people view demos in a very bad light. Right? They work, okay? But the junta would really want to paint a picture that they do not work.
Okay. Because
of the oppressive system. Just because somebody did not cook so well sadza on a certain stove, it doesn't mean to say that stove does not cook good sadza, or maybe that pot does not cook good sadza. Something was not done well, just that. Right? It's because the system would really want to make sure that thwarting every effort the citizens are doing, as in their right. They're bringing everything down, and we end up saying they do not work. But you know what? When we come, all of us, in our numbers, like what happens in other countries, when we all say we are going to be in the streets, we do not want this kind of a way of being led. Right? We are sick and tired of this kind of a thing. When we stand up, all of us, it will come to an end. It will not take a long time. But unfortunately, Zimbabweans, they are so much of cowards than anything else. I have to be blunt about that. We are so much of cowards. We're so fearful. I know, yes, it's not much of their problem. It was a fear which was inflicted or not brought on them. Because I usually say, my dear, that the fear Zimbabweans has in general, have come from the top. Okay. Yeah. The junta is very much afraid of us. Okay. Very much afraid of us. Such that they had to put measures in place protect themselves well in advance.
Okay.
To say when these guys wake up, right, they will definitely kick us out. So we have got to make sure that the fear we have, we bring it down to them.
Okay.
So that when they are afraid of us, they won't do anything to us. So therefore, we're going to be safe.
Okay.
But it is them who are very fearful of us because of what they have done. If they were working so well, doing their business really good, not killing anybody, not abducting anybody, disappearing people, being so violent, if they were so good, they were not going to be inflicting fear on people.
The masses.
The masses.
Okay. And when it comes down to money,
Yeah.
money, we're living in such a harsh economic environment.
Yeah.
You know, the cash crisis, things are really hard.
Very.
You know, how are you putting up? How are you surviving? You know, how do you get on day to day?
It's
and with your activities as well.
It's very, very tricky. Like I maybe I want to mention to say that things are so difficult. Right, so difficult for me even to put food on the table. Looking at this fact to say that I'm not being helped by the church. Okay, I'm depending on well wishers. Okay, who have never told me to say that we are going to be giving you this at this time. Right, it's like I live by faith. Right, where I have to be believing God. Okay, for every meal, each and every time. Believing God for my rentals, that kind of a thing, each and every time. That's the extent to which I am believing God right now for. But like I'm saying, my son is not going to school, right? And I can't raise the money for that kind of a thing. So this is how depressed I am in the financial side. Things are just bad, and they're affecting my marriage. That's why I'm saying blame still the junta, even for my marriage, which is constrained because of what is going on. Because under normal circumstances, it is my right to stand up and begin to say what is going on is not right. I should not be arrested, right? When I'm arrested, things happen to my family. They're not with me, that kind of a thing. And in the process, again, even our relationship is constrained. Money-wise, it is constrained, that kind of a thing. So the junta is responsible for what is going on. I do not have the ability to be able to actually raise money, right? Yes, somebody can say, okay, why can't you go and work and do other things?
Yes.
That kind of a thing.
Yes.
I can't. This what I'm doing, okay, is a calling. It's an assignment for a particular time.
Yes.
As much as I had an assignment for years to be praying for the nation of what? Nation of Zimbabwe. Now I've got an assignment again to speak to the powers that be, to say what you're doing is what is not right for the nation of what? For the nation of Zimbabwe. Right? It's a full-time job. I'm a pastor for that which is right.
Yes.
To speak that which God desires to see happening in a nation. Right? So with me, I differ a lot, I know, with many pastors. With me, it's God first. And the assignment God has given me. Then my family comes.
Okay.
Out of that. I know some say it's God, it's the family, and then it's your assignment or it's a ministry. There's no way I can separate God from the assignment which He gave me.
Okay.
Because the moment you begin to run away from the assignment, you're running away from what? From God.
From God. So if we, in summation though, what can we say is your assignment?
All right.
Yeah.
My assignment is to speak righteousness, is to promote righteousness, that which is right. To say that according to the book of Genesis, says it was God speaking to the man Cain, said that if you do good, which also means to say that if you do right, won't you be accepted? So I am saying that people should do that which is right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said in Victoria Falls that, Mr. President, people are suffering. So I was saying to him, do that which is right. But I didn't start by saying Mugabe must go. I didn't start by saying that. just telling him to say, Mr. President, people are suffering.
Okay, and is it symbolic that you wear a chain?
The chain.
Padlock? Yes.
Yes, it is. This chain denotes to say that we are oppressed. We are in chains. Okay. And this padlock, okay, also symbolizes to say that the destiny of the nation, the capacity, the ability of the nation is what is locked, right? But one interesting thing is that I have got the key.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got the key in my pocket.
Okay.
Right? And I strongly believe that even those who are walking around like, even like you don't have it, but you have got it. One way or the other, you are being oppressed. You are under oppression. We are all under what? Under oppression. And we've got the key. The key is to stand up and begin to say enough is enough. We don't want this because this is destroying the generations to come. We're destroying our children. It's so pathetic. We don't want it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any last words or anything that you think you didn't clarify, we didn't touch on, that you want to let the nation know?
Let me just say to the nation that we are about to get there. I have said last year as to what God told me concerning this year, that it is a year of war and wonders, to say that something good is coming, but we've got to fight for it. So it is time that we fight for that which is right, for that which belongs to us, and for that which belongs to our children. Okay, the first family is taking everything away from us, and their leadership, they're taking everything away from us. Okay, they're the ones who are getting everything, but we need to make sure that we tell them, we show them the road. Okay, with these guys, they cannot shape. Okay, they cannot change. They are beyond that. So what we just need to tell them, say, guys, we are sick and tired of you. Okay, we are not afraid of you. Go and go now, or else we'll kick you out. We'll kick you out in a non-violent way. And definitely that's what we'll do, because that's what the Constitution tells us. So that we can demonstrate, we can kick out the president, we can kick out the whole leadership in a very amicable way, in a non-violent way, by standing out there and being so clear with our words to say we do not want you anymore.
Okay. Thank you very much, Pastor Phillip Mugadza from Remnant Church, the Right Human. He's an activist as well. From me, Anisu Michael Maposa, Pamushana News team. Bye-bye.
I'm going to start working with OAUS. I think most of the people, you know that I've been called a Lone Ranger for quite a long time, but I believe it's time that I start now being with other people. So I've made a deliberate choice and decision to actually work with OAUS, and I am coming in to replace Itai Zamara. Itai Zamara has been an inspiration to me, and I believe to many other people also. So my word out there is to say that whoever believes that Itai was an inspiration to your life, especially the activists and even non-activists, I'm calling you to come over. When I say I'm coming in to replace Itai Zamara, I'm not saying that I am the only one who can do that. Every one of us and any one of us can be able to replace Zamara. But in any sense, if I can tell you also to say that any one of us can be an Itai Zamara, can disappear today, can also disappear tomorrow. So what I'm saying is that if you can be an Itai Zamara in disappearance, so you can just as well be an Itai Zamara in doing what he used to do. So anytime soon we will be going back in the square where he used to be, and we will do what he used to be doing, because anytime any one of us can be an Itai Zamara.
Do you have any specific dates you're going to be going into the square?
Not really. We don't have as for now. but anytime soon we'll be able to send them out.
How are we going to know when the time?
Well, I think this is a time of social media, and we can be able to be sending out around the dates, or maybe we can be specific to those we actually know to send a message to say that this is a date we're going to be actually moving into action.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.